Good afternoon, everybody. I would like to call to order the March 25th, 2026 Palm Beach County Transportation Disadvantage Local Coordinating Board meeting to order. The Palm Beach MPO is conducting this meeting both in person and virtually via Zoom webinar platform. Instructions to join the virtual meeting as well as contact information for assistance are provided in the published meeting agenda. I would love to, anyone who's able to join me for the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
Nice to see
States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, Ruth, if we could call the roll to establish our quorum, please.
At this time, I'm only asking those board members attending in person to respond by saying here when I call your name. I want to remind you to unmute your microphones by pushing the button on the base prior to responding. Alternates, please also state your name if you are attending on behalf of a board representative. Millery Sennett. Here. Nicole Smith. Win Dang. Jerome Hill. Angela Choice. Here. Robert Goodman.
you.
James Green.
Adam Reback on behalf of James Green.
Marlene Remnon. Laura Schultz. Here. Isis Williams. Ariel Richardson. Michael Corbett.
Here.
Madalena Cruz. Takesha Saffold.
I'm sorry, Tatiana Gilliard. I'm here for modeling.
Modeling, thank you. Takesha Saffold. Chelsea Reed.
Here.
Thank you. We have a quorum.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Do we have any modifications to our agenda today?
No, Madam Chair.
All right. So could we get a, I'm sorry, do we have any motions to our minutes?
No changes.
All right. All right. So can I get a motion to adopt the agenda and minutes as presented? Someone says they're going to make a motion.
Below Senna, motion.
Beautiful.
I'll second.
And Laura Schultz seconds. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Thank you so much. All right, we'll move along to general public comments. Instructions on how to provide public comments are included in the agenda. Have we received any from the
No,
public?
Madam Chair.
All right, thank you so much. So comments from the chair. At this time, I would love to invite any board member that has a comment regarding something that is not already in the agenda. Please pop up your card and unmute your microphone if you have anything to say at all. Yes, ma'am.
I just want to thank you guys for forwarding the contact information for permission to me because the family, they were able to have the family resolve the matter and the young lady and I is writing again. Thank you so very much for all your help with that matter.
It's lovely. Anyone else? Anything else? All right, moving along. So I'd love to invite Margie Tamblin, our MPO Senior Transportation Planner, to go over our liaison report.
Absolutely. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Margie Tamblin, Senior Multimodal Planner for the record. And briefly, I'll go through the liaison report and what's going on this month. So March, as you may know, is Florida Bicycle Month. Municipalities are encouraged to celebrate Florida Bicycle Month in March with proclamations and events. We hit our target of 30 proclamations. We're super excited about that. And to learn more about Florida Bicycle Month, please visit palmbeachmpo.org/walkbike. And then next week on Friday, we will have a Safe Routes to School workshop from 9:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. And more information and to register for that event, it's palmbeachmpo.org/SRTS workshop. We're super excited about the culmination of the Safe Routes to School action plan coming together for that. And Boca Raton Transit Oriented Development Tour will take place on April 22nd from 2 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. in Meisner Park. Please register at palmbeachmpo.org/Boca TOD tour. The Transit Oriented Communities Workshop will take place here on April 30th from 9:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. Please register for that at palmbeachmpo.org/TOC workshop. There's an autonomous vehicles conference that's upcoming on May 29th. It will be held at the Boca Raton Innovation Campus. And to register for that event, autonomousvehicleconference.com. And upcoming on the horizon, another event is the e-bicycles and golf cart safety workshop. You can join us on June 4th here virtually or here in person to learn about legislative updates, safety considerations, and available resources and tools. Please register for that event at palmbeachmpo.org/e-bike golf carts. And two plans that are in the works, both at the state level and more locally. We have the 2026 FDOT Strategic Highway Safety Plan. They're conducting their update for that plan. For more information about that, fdot.gov/safety/SHSP/2026 And the countywide transportation master plan is also taking place and underway at the moment. And for more information about that project, pbcmoves.com. To get involved, I know we have limited meetings. You can always find more information on how to get involved and participate with what we're up to at the Palm Beach MPO at palmbeachmpo.org/participate. And that is all I have.
These by now. All right. Thank you so much, Margie. And everyone, just so you know, Margie has stepped in to assist us with this board. So thank you so much for coming on. We're really looking forward to your leadership. Any public comments on our report?
No, Madam Chair.
Thank you so much. Moving along, I'm going to invite Brian Ruscher, our MPO Deputy Director of Multimodal. Please let the notes show that our Vice Chair, Wen Dang, has arrived. And again, I'm inviting Brian Ruscher, MPO Deputy Director of Multimodal, for a recognition.
Yes, thank you, everybody. It is a bittersweet moment for us today. This is our last meeting with Council Member Chelsea Reed as our chair. We are at the MPO wholeheartedly and, fully sad to see her leaving council and leaving our chair. She was also the MPO governing board chair as well for a few years. I think, with respect to Chair Reed's leadership, this board has been through a lot in a good way. We have, through her leadership and recognized just 1 year after her taking leadership, been awarded Local Coordinating Board of the Year by the state of Florida. She was also recognized with the Commission for Transportation Disadvantaged as the elected official of the year for the entire state of Florida. So those are her, obviously, front-facing accomplishments. But I think the accomplishments that I'm proud to have worked with her on over the years of my time at the MPO are, ensuring that when we as a board get together, we had a series of presentations from each of you about what your agencies do and how you work with the program. She was also instrumental in making sure that we as members got out to see Palm Tran Connection and did a tour of that facility. And we're going to continue those efforts on in memory of Chelsea and making sure that we are getting out to Palm Tran Connection, looking at their facility, and that we are continuing into the future as well with the member presentations when we hopefully welcome a new chair to this body as appointed by the MPO governing board. So if you'll all please join me in taking a picture and celebrating with cake and a round of applause for our honorable chair.
Thank you, Brian. We're going to take a 10-minute break, and I have nothing to say, but just incredibly profoundly grateful for the opportunity to have worked with all of you to take care of the people who need the most taking care in our county. It has been such a privilege to get to understand all of it, and also say hello to Lou out there in Vegas, where he went off to. It was a great team, and it's something I'll always look back on with so much honor. So thank you. Let's eat some cake.
Picture first.
Sorry.
Come on around, everybody. These two blue lines right here.
This side is good over.
Are we allowed to running the meeting when I got it? Why don't you do the honor? Oh, yeah. I'm gonna follow you. Is that my video there? So I'm fortunate that that's we thought that you have a slipper. Yeah.
Are you not a cake guy? Mm, mm.
Fruit.
That's good. That's really good. Now, question, is it allowed to have like Broward,
So
no,
Broward has a imprint segment called Get My Interns.
oh,
They work with Miami-Dade. My friend Alex Funkhauser launched Get My Interns maybe 6, 7 years ago. And they got Career Source, South Florida, Miami, to pony up millions.
oh,
We created this with like 30,000.
wow. Because I know that we do have some offices in Palm Beach, but some of them in like Broward. So I just want to make sure I have the right information. So it's primarily whatever is located in Palm Beach County.
So if the person that wants to do this in Broward, have them email me,
Mhm.
who should I connect with in Broward, and I'll connect them with the person.
Okay, great. Okay, thank you.
Do you work out of West Palm?
No, I work at a Fort Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale? You drove all the way up there.
Well, actually, I did a little bit of driving. I caught the tri-rail. Then I got to the tri-rail. I tried to ride circuit, but it was like gonna take like 50 minutes. I was gonna be late, so I had to Uber.
Because of the boat show.
Mhm. Yeah, I wasn't expecting it to be 50 minutes, so I did a little bit of everything.
Had not ridden the Bright Line. And a couple of weeks ago, a friend came in town and had a trade show conference in Aventura. And I took Bright Line down and he dropped me off right there. I took an Uber right around the corner. It was really clean, it was convenient, it was easy.
Yeah, people say but I mean not tri-rail, but Brightline is like really good.
I met a woman at a luncheon who lives in Miami Lakes and she works here in downtown. And she takes Brightline every day, 5 days a week, to and from work. She takes her laptop, she can do work going and coming, and has the annual pass, so it's affordable.
It's probably cheaper than gas, especially with the gas prices now. And it drops you off like pretty close in walking distance.
Well, the Brightline drops you off here at the Quadrilla, and they have circuits and they have right there, but you can, she said she can walk to her office, so she must work in a law firm right around here.
Wow, I'm jealous. I drive every day to work.
I know, so do
I
I.
haven't found some kind of active mode of transportation yet. 'Cause I live in Pompano and then I have to drive to Fort Lauderdale.
That's not so bad.
It's not. It's just, you just hate driving or you just,
It's old.
yeah. Especially with gas prices.
When they put in the pay lanes, that really screwed up 95 again. Because it doesn't do anything for the regular driver.
Yeah.
Just if you go in the pay lanes.
Yes. Does Palm Beach have something like the circuit, but like something that's on demand? They have the circuit, but you order that you order the ride through the app. Do you have something that's like more on demand, where it's just like besides the regular bus routes, like?
Other than this and then like Uber and Lyft,
Mm.
So Boca Raton does. Boca Raton has, I think, a circuit. And I believe Delray Beach is looking into a circuit. Yeah.
like, there was a reason why I want. Like, because the it's a women from.
West Palm has something. Because I sat through a presentation and the guy was really, he made a lot of sense. He said, how many times have you worked
Do we wait for when, or do you want, up to you? No, that's okay.
in your next
I
meeting?
think she just went to the bathroom with, yeah,
Into another-
yeah.
That happens to me quite frequently, don't it? So you can just take this and you just tip the person. The city pays for it. City pays for it. I think it was circuit because the guy lives here.
That's pretty cool.
The city itself runs it. It's not any way that I can use it. You know what I mean? Santa Claus are the same.
Sounds a little bit confusing.
Yeah.
I just keep taking the train, I guess. Didn't come here, that's it. I don't know anything about West Palm. So, so the library, just for one county?
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back. We're going to jump right back into our agenda. There are no action items for our TD-LCB today, so we're going to move on to some very important information items, however, because we are ready for our CTC evaluation kickoff. So I'm going to invite Margie Tamlin, our MPO Senior Transportation Planner and our liaison, to provide this presentation. Hello again.
Hello. So as you all know, we do the Community Transportation Coordinator evaluation every year, and it's that time again to start, and this is our fiscal year 26 kickoff. So briefly, again, we do this every year, and we evaluate the operations and performance. We also survey riders and beneficiaries and purchases of services and contractors. And we officially started with Brian's email on March 13th, and we will conclude on June 1st, and findings and recommendations will be at our June meeting. And then a brief overview and of course some acronyms, because would it be a planning agency without acronyms? We have the Commission for Transportation Disadvantage, which is the CTD, and that is the system that coordinates TD transportation services here and also across Florida. We have the Designated Official Planning Agency, which is the Palm Beach Metropolitan Planning Organization, and we assist with the CTD at a local level, and we also receive the grant funding. The Community Transportation Coordinator is Palm Tran Connection, and they coordinate the transportation for the transportation disadvantage across Palm Beach County. And then, of course, all of you, the local coordinating board, which identifies local service needs and advises the CTC. So for 2026, the CTC evaluation tasks that we have between March 2026 and June 2026 are the workbook, the surveys, the observation rides, and the site visit. So some past results and our targets for 2026 include for observation rides in 2024, we had 7. In 2025, we had 10 observation rides, and our target for this year is 15. We have one that was already taking place today on the way to the meeting. So thank you, Michael. And
Can I tell you a funny story? When I got on the vehicle, the fellow goes, "What is your name?" And I said, "Michael Corbett." And he goes, "No," he said, "valued rider." Is that what you are?
I love that. That's pretty funny. Okay, well, be on the lookout, value riders. So, we are targeting hopefully to have 80% of our observation rides completed by LCB members, and that would be around 12 this year. So rider emails that we received so far, in the past, we've asked for a more targeted reach or like over a year period, and we've gotten a shorter or like less emails from Palm Tran Connection. So in 2024, we got 546. 2025, we got 635. And this year, we got 7,500 emails. And we will be emailing all of them with a survey for their responses. And we are hoping to get about 3,000 of those responses back, so 50%. In the past, we've had 18% in 2024 survey respondents via email and 38% in 2025. And riders that were surveyed by phone through all of you. In the past, in 2024, we had 72. In 2025, we had 39, and we are hoping to get to 100. I will send an email to you by the end of the week with about 20 riders to survey them via phone. And your role, again, survey riders will have about 20 people per person for you to call, take an observation ride or rides if you feel inclined. And Tour Palm Tran Central will be on May 8th. Tentatively, we might have some scheduling conflicts, but we'll get back to you in regard to that. And then provide feedback along the way to us. We're happy to hear whatever you got to say. And for surveying riders, we'll provide a list to you, as I had mentioned. We will also provide a script to survey participants or provide you with a survey link in the event that's easier for you to use. And the LCB uses either the written or online survey to complete input, and we will tabulate all the data and present it back to you in June. Regarding surveying riders, we have the online format, which is on the left, and the paper format, which is on the right. Submitting online is preferred. It's just easier that way, and it saves you the time of scanning it back in and sending it to us. If you just want to fill it out online, that would be a lot easier overall. But in the event you want to do paper format, that's fine too. and then touring Palm Trans Central. So this will be Friday, May 8th, tentatively. And this is the old off-lease only site. For those of you that may be familiar, if you're interested in attending, please RSVP to me by my email. And then let's see, observation rides. Again, thank you. Most of you, I think, have scheduled one, but go ahead and send an email to me and Roderick with Palm Trans Connection to get those scheduled. If you need recommendations on where to go, we're happy to help with that as well. And then the MPO and CTC, kind of looking forward, we will share the online survey with Palm Trans Connection riders via email. We are working on and continuing to develop the workbook, and we will facilitate the Palm Trans Central tour and provide general feedback back to Palm Trans Connection. And then June, a look ahead of what we're thinking of doing. We have a lot of information and data that was provided to us from Palm Trans Connection, and we have about 62,000 riders, unique riders that we're looking at. And we have just under 17 million trips that we're trying to populate the origin and destination for. So we won't have something just like this, but we're looking at a similar type of map, whether that be a heat map or origin and destination base like we have here. And then CTC evaluation next steps. So again, we'll share the survey with Palm Trans Connection customers. The MPO or me, I will share a contact list with you of phone numbers for you to call your 20 riders. And then you will submit everything to us, surveys and evaluations, by May 16th. And then again, we'll present the findings to you at the June 24th LCB meeting. And with that, does anyone have any questions, comments, concerns, fun stories?
I don't see any cards up, but if you don't mind, I think this would be a great time for perhaps the incoming chair who wants to learn about this, or anyone who hasn't ridden before, to sort of hear some stories of what you guys have seen on the rides. And then also, really importantly, as well as the conversations that you've had during these phone calls. Is it okay if we go ahead and take a moment for that?
Absolutely.
All right, Mr. Corbett.
You took over the off-lease only site?
If only, right?
You're kidding.
Palm Trans Connection, I believe, is leasing that site. And yeah, they will do some operations out of it. Go ahead,
Thank you.
please.
Chair, just to make note, I know Ron Jones is also available online if he wants to make any commentary beyond what I have. Brian Reach, Deputy Director of Multimodal. Palm Trans Connection had 2 operating facilities that they would use to maintain vehicles, send them out from particular bays. The off-lease site, obviously, that operator for that business went under. There was a large facility that had large maintenance bays, enough parking to facilitate operations for Palm Trans Connection. So instead of having 2 separate sites, they're going to do a consolidated operations and maintenance facility at 1200 South Congress Avenue. So that old off-lease building that was built, practically still, new paint smell on it, is going to be retrofitted and it'll be operational this year. So our hope with that is we're actually going to be getting a preview of this before the site is fully operational, is that we can see the maintenance and operations facility, get a sense of how they're going to use the site, get a sense of how they dispatch vehicles to riders, interact with some of the operators on the day of. And so we've asked Palm Trans to help us facilitate that tour. Looking forward to it. It should be very exciting. It's different than going to the Palm Trans Connection office headquarters. I think this will be a little bit of a different tour that we get to see how operations work from a vehicle and driver perspective. So please do join us on the date once it's selected.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good answer. Fantastic. All right, please let the minutes reflect that Isis Williams from Florida Department of Children and Families has arrived. And by the way, there's cake over there. All right, so let's have a couple of our board members. Or yes, thank you. Otherwise, you're going to get voluntold. So that's
Yeah,
great.
No, I can speak. I think the most challenging part for me is when we make the phone calls and you have to we have to make the phone calls and you have to do several iteration because it's not always available.
Yes.
I actually had to seek some help
Hey.
because of the writers didn't speak English very well. So
I did. Meals,
But
I carried over everything. I didn't bring the
survey
dinner
was
over
very
because I was trying to
challenging
pick up
for,
dinner that night.
me
So as far as they're
personally.
concerned, I had dinner
I
with friends.
also, I
And
think
that's
a
the
couple
total
years
amount. That's the
ago,
amount of the
we had
back one. That's the amount
discussion
of
on
the
the
room and the
reservation
registration
system.
for the
And
for the
it was
backpack for
not,
the two
before it
meals.
was not a
And
reservation system that,
and then you just need to
that the
do everything
MPO
there.
facilitated for us. We had to call
And
in
then once you go to
and I remember it was like a tablet, and it was a call center. I wasn't sure
right
if
off taken care of.
discussion, we make some suggestions if that system is gonna be turned over. So I wasn't sure if that was, if Ron is online, he can speak to that.
Dispatch lady, and then there's been an increase in them. I say I want
Mr. Ron Jones, the Senior Manager of Paratransit, are you on the call that you could answer the
I
question for
am,
our
but
Vice
I
Chair?
think there's another call where it's the feedback is really bad, and I like got part of your question. There's like another.
Oh, there's 3 of him, so we're just trying to find out which one. Let's see.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Yeah, there was feedback. It looks like it stopped. Can you repeat the question? There was feedback. There was in the line, and I didn't hear the second part of your question about
No,
the reservations.
Right, and I think the comment like a couple years ago is precisely, I remember having discussion after our observation rides to see if there's if the platform is ever going to be turned digital or it's going to be a phone reservation and you have to call in from the day before.
We do have currently, we have our phone app for booking, and we also have our web-based booking. Those are currently the two options for not calling in. For the ride-alongs, if that's what you mean, yes, those we have to, because not being eligible Palm Tree Connection riders, we have to do those reservations differently. That's why your name was put in as valued rider. That's just our temporary test name along with a few others. But yes, we do have online booking systems.
Excellent. Thank you so much. I do remember once when I rode, I was Jane Doe. So yeah, maybe, I guess the suggestion from our board, and if you guys don't mind me saying so, is maybe we could do some creative naming, just maybe not Jane Doe or preferred rider. So that we get a more authentic ridership experience. That would be great. I understand we can't go through the experience of scheduling the ride because of the anonymity and the requirements to be a disadvantaged rider. Completely get that. Anyway, does anyone have, I see Mallory has her card up. Mallory?
Yes. Last year I did the ride. It was great. The person who picked me up from my house, when they dropped me back, she said it's her job to walk me to the door to make sure that I was okay, since I was a rider, which was great. But the survey part, I still struggle with asking people about their income bracket, because there's something that you guys should have in the system. I don't mind asking them about their experience as far as the survey, how satisfied they are. But when it comes to, especially now, where people are not comfortable telling people about their age, their income, and those are personal information, demographic, that I should not be asking them. I feel like I should be asking them about Palm Tree Connect services that they are receiving, which that's what I do for other counties. They don't put that top part in there. They just want to know how satisfied they are, how great they are. The people were nice. They didn't have any issue with it. I didn't feel comfortable with that part. And I did enjoy talking to the families. They love the drivers. They know them. It's like their families. They know them by name. Everybody wanted to rate everybody 10 or plus. So that part I enjoy doing, and I will continue to do that part of the survey.
All right, Isis.
If I may piggyback off that, good afternoon, everyone. On the flip side, some of the customers were uncomfortable given that information. Some of them just shut down, clam up, and then I had to explain further, like, it's a part of the survey while we're asking for age and income and all of that. So on the flip side, you do have people that feel uncomfortable given that personal information.
I agree. I did have that. A lot of people didn't want to continue the survey because of that, especially when you're doing adult and people with disabilities.
I will say, I think we have since removed that question. So hopefully that clears up some concerns in regard to asking about that. I know it's a sensitive question for a lot of people, so that has since been removed. And if there's anything else language-wise, maybe we can just add additional languages and we can give you a quick link that's easy to say on the phone in the event people don't pick up. Maybe that's helpful. But absolutely, we're open to suggestions or, anything of the sort that would make it easier for all of you to conduct these surveys.
All right, I don't see any other cards up. We don't have any public comment that's come in. So if it's okay, what I'd love to say is I will miss taking these rides. It was a tremendous opportunity because when I explained to people Palm Tran Connect, they're like, oh, those buses are empty often. And it's a great opportunity to explain why and how this works. And there's nothing quite like going along for a ride, the longer the better, so that you can see everything from an elderly gentleman in a wheelchair being very carefully strapped in, strapped out, rolled to his elderly daycare for the day, and then another person getting on who is visually impaired, coming onto the bus with also assistance, then taken to their home that's behind a gate. So then the driver has to go through the gate, wait to get through the gate, get the passenger to their door, get back in while still taking care of all the other people, and then stop at the VA on the way as well and put 2 or 3 other people and do it again and again and again all day long. And just thinking about, I'm sure all of us have folks who come to visit us at our homes, giving them directions just to get to your place, following the GPS, going through, hitting traffic, hitting the intersection at a train when the train comes. These are all things that affect the care on these rides. So we have a goal of 15 this year. I'm sorry I won't get to do it with you guys, but that means each one of us has, whoever the chair will be, and the other 14 members of this board will need to do it for that goal to be hit. So that's my challenge and my wish. For eating cake today, that's the challenge. And so hopefully that will be great. I'll be following up and hope to hear about everyone's rides. So please do so. It is worth the time. And then also the best part is it's pretty much a commute, right? So you could have taken it here today with the boat parade and not had to pay $80 for your parking. So nonetheless, I'm excited to see what you guys do. It's an extraordinary experience. And again, I know the phone calls can be challenging. I did skip over that once or twice with the income. I could almost sense it on the call that it was going to make a difference in the conversation I was about to have. But the conversations are heartening, whether it's a person who became recently disabled and it's the only way they can get to work. I talked to a couple, a husband and a wife that were both blind, and they both had master's degrees, but they said if we didn't have this, we would not be able to go to work every day. Moms who had multiple children that had disabilities, and that was the only way she could get anyone anywhere. So it is wonderful to have this service, and we're lucky to be able to hear these stories. So please take the time to do so. And that's all I have. I see no other cards. So good luck. And everyone has until when to ride and when to make the calls?
May 16th.
All right. And then excited about to see the origin and destination map. That'll make a big difference as well. All right. Any other public comments come in, Ruth?
No, Madam Chair.
All right. Let's move along to partner agency updates. I do believe we have Ron Jones is still on the call. Mr. Jones, do you have any updates for us?
Just as Brian said earlier, that we are in our new building at 1200 South Congress. We moved in over the weekend and the last couple days. I blurted out because there's still boxes behind me. You might hear a drill in the background too. Somebody's hanging some items, but certainly glad to have everybody. It was actually 3 different operation locations. We had our call center also that moved into the building, and then we are moving in pretty shortly our vendors. So all of Palm Tree Connection will be at one location. Other than that, the other update was the successful transition of our Connection Plus service. That went very well. A lot of efforts with our software vendor, community outreach, and just adapting to those changes and implementing, in a seamless manner as possible for our customers.
All right. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm sure that was a big lift. All right. Do we have any public comments at all before I start to close things out?
No, Madam Chair.
All right. Do the board members have any other comments for staff before we close out? Thank you for the cake. Our next meeting will be on June 24th, 2026 at 2:00. And